The following is some general guidance in reading the Food and Agricultural Code. California statutes are contained in 29 separate codes, and the 12th alphabetically is the Food and Agricultural Code. Note that some people call it the Food and Agriculture Code, but is agricultural, often referred to as just the Food and Ag Code. Now, all 29 codes have general provisions that assist you in reading and interpreting that code's sections. The following are some selected general provisions of the California Food and Agricultural Code. Section 1 says that the act is known as the Food and Agricultural Code. Section 2 says it's hereby declared as a matter of legislative determination that the provisions of this code are enacted in the exercise of the power of this state for the purposes of promoting and protecting the agricultural industry of the state and for the protection of the public health, safety, and welfare. In all civil actions, the provisions of this code are to be liberally construed for the accomplishment of these purposes and for the accomplishment of the purposes of the several divisions of this code. And in criminal actions, the rule of construction set forth in Section 4 of the Penal Code is to be the rule of construction for this code. Section 4 says that the provisions of this code, insofar as they are substantially the same as existing law, are restatements and continuations of existing law rather than new enactments. Section 9 says that a violation of any provision of this code is a misdemeanor unless expressly provided otherwise. Section 10 provides that whenever any notice, report, statement, or record is required by the Food and Agricultural Code, it must be in writing unless expressly provided it may be oral. Section 11 says that whenever any notice, report, statement, or record is required to be kept or made in writing, it must be done so in the English language. Section 12 provides that whenever any document is required or permitted by this code to be recorded, the document must be recorded in the office of the county recorder of the county in which the property or thing which is effective is situated. Section 13 specifies that whenever any power or authority is given by this code to any person, it may be exercised by any deputy, inspector, or agent duly authorized by that officer. Section 15, whenever reference is made to any portion of the code or any law, the reference applies to all amendments and additions. Section 16 states division, part, chapter, and article headings do not in any manner affect the scope, meaning, or intent of the provisions of this code. Section 17 says if any provision of the code is held invalid, that the remainder of the code is not affected. Section 18, in all matters which arise under this code, proof of the fact of possession by any person engaged in the sale of a commodity establishes a rebuttable presumption that the commodity is for sale, and the presumption is a presumption affecting the burden of producing the evidence. Section 19 says the present tense includes the past and future tenses, and the future tense includes the present. Section 20, the masculine gender includes the feminine and neuter. Section 21, the singular number includes the plural and the plural the singular. Section 24, it is hereby declared as a matter of legislative determination that the provisions of this section are enacted in the exercise of the power of this state for the purpose of protecting and furthering the public health and welfare. It's further declared that the floriculture and nursery industry of this state is affected with a public interest. Section 24.5, inasmuch as plants growing in native stands or planted for ornamental purposes contribute to the environmental and public health and welfare needs of the people of this state, the legislature hereby finds and declares that these plants are to be considered as a part of the agricultural industry for the purpose of any law that provides for the protection of the agricultural industry from pests. Section 25, the definitions in the specified sections govern the construction of this code. And finally, in section 47, the term shall is mandatory and the term may is permissive.